to feel it and I wanna rock your gypsy soul. What's up, gang? Everybody watching the VOD. One of my channel members, subscribers, and Discord moderators, Mr. John Lampson, sent me a Vivor ultrasonic parts cleaner. It's, I think, 7 liters. Can't show you my address. Yeah, I think it's like a 7 liter. I'm super stoked. John is the absolute man. There we go. Anyways, we're gonna be doing some ultrasonic parts cleaner setup today. Just chilling in the garage. I'm just sort of getting things cleaned up so I can start working on Fix and Give episode 7 tomorrow. What's up, Crystal? What's up, Mike? Just doing some garage hangs and garage tunes. Oh, dude. Speedy Taco Boys. What's up, bro? Need a Orgulo? I need to learn how to pronounce that name. What's up, man? That's so funny. So if you guys have seen the long form videos, you know I always stop off to get tacos whenever I'm doing road tests. And the dudes from my local taco truck, Speedy Taco, they saw me on YouTube. Last time I went over to go get tacos, they're like, yo, dude, we saw you on YouTube. That's hilarious. So they gave me a subscribe. One of them's in the chat right now. So John Lampson, one of my subscribers, channel members, and Discord moderator, he sent me a Vivor ultrasonic parts cleaner. So I was thinking about making a video on it. I figured we'll just answer some questions, kick it in the garage, listen to some music. I'm gonna get things tidied up. Tomorrow I'm getting started on episode 7 of the Fix and Give series. We'll be doing transmission pan and trans service, rebuilding the drive shaft, transmission mounts and differential mounts, but I liked it. It's not a road test if I don't get tacos. Spider. It's so funny the Speedy Taco dudes are in the live. That's hilarious. So yeah, before I do the big jobs, I like to, thanks man. Thanks TJ. I did reorganize the whole garage. I'll show you guys a little bit of an outline. So before I had the workbench here, toolbox was on the side. I moved the toolbox over to in front of the bumpers, which is nice, and then shifted the workbench over here. So I'd say it's a overall better setup. This is the new sidewall now. I got part storage, detail shelf, parts washer, and TV. It's a good setup. I'm pretty happy with it. Chad Riddle's got the same parts cleaner, bought it for cleaning carbs. Sick, dude. I'm super stoked to get it going. Yeah, it'll be a good transmission video. Vegeta, thank you, dude. The lift's working great. I'll show you guys some operation on the lift here. Let's get this thing cracked open. I got another upload coming out Sunday. It's air suspension on a F15 X5. The one I did the airbags on in the rear, it came back with intermittent compressor issues. And I found a chafed part of the wiring harness. What's the plan on Evan's truck? So I'll show you guys during this live. I currently have the cylinder heads pulled off and they're at a machine shop right now. This is some of the remnants of the parts. Cylinder head bolts, exhaust studs. This box is filled with hardware. I'll show you, let me flip the camera around. We got some good people in the live today, hell yeah. So much good dialogue, I'm gonna have a hard time keeping up. So, as you can see here, this is my Rock Auto parts list. Asian timing belt kit, thermostat, coolant, cylinder head, gasket set, $300 for all the gaskets, all that. I have part storage in here. These are all individually labeled hardware. So, you know, pulley for the fan, intake nuts, all that. I tore it apart with my brother and it went really good. I got boxes and boxes of Rock Auto parts. I also got the head gaskets. I'll go show you guys the lift. Oh yeah, new tripod. Making some upgrades around here. Got my power unit over here. New tires for the giveaway car. Yeah, check this thing out. Hey, see you soon, brother. I'll see you next time. Go get some tacos. So we got the radiator, fan shroud, fan, valve covers, air box, fender wells, another head gasket. I'll pop the hood and show you guys. I also want to see if there's any water in the block because it's been raining over here on the north coast. I want to make sure we're not going to get any rust in the cylinders. But yeah, we spent about 8 hours about a week ago tearing the heads off this thing, and we had some bluing on the valve, so it's getting a full valve job. But as you can see here, this thing is completely torn down. Got the throttle body over here. Get that off the battery. And this thing is torn down to the block and pistons. So, yeah, we tore it down to the block. Tore it down to the block and pistons. We have a little bit of scoring right back there on the cylinder walls on 6. A little bit more scoring on 4. But other than that, I did a vacuum check on all the cylinders and all the pistons, and I'm getting 15 inches of mercury pulling vacuum with this vacuum piston and cylinder checker. And so that's been going good. I borrowed it from the machine shop. I'm working with the local machine shop, Wally's Engine Shop, and they've been extremely helpful. We're gonna do a little bit of a collaborative video on it. And my brother was with me for the entire removal process. He's gonna do the installation for me, with me as well. So glad, oops, caught a thermostat hose, or a throttle body hose. Vegeta's been cutting off 3 or 4 control arm nuts for the last few days. That sounds terrible, dude. I don't envy you. And the chickens are good. I got bad news, guys. I had 2 chickens die. Went into the coop the other day. 2 of my birds were dead. They didn't get eaten. There was no blood. There was no missing feathers. But I had 2 dead birds. And then some friends of mine from Bible study, they only had 1 chicken. And, you know, 3 of my chickens were getting real beat up. 2 silkies and my other chicken curry. So I gave them away to my new friends, Bree and Corey. And so I rehomed those. So I went from 15 chickens down to 10. But they're doing good. And my brother made me a sign recently. Got some eggs. Wicked chickens lay deviled eggs. He used his scorch marker to make that sign for me. So I got some shots for him, but chickens are good. Hey, stay back. Nope, it's not an outside day. Sage is good too. Sage is happy. But hopefully we see our boy John in here, because dude, he just surprised me with this parts cleaner. I was talking about buying one, and he dropped in the comment on one of my recent videos. He's like, 7-liter parts cleaner coming to you. So super generous of him. He's been extremely helpful, super supportive. So big shout out, John. Yeah, this setup is so much better, guys. I'm super happy with, your brake cleaner is good, but when you're trying to clean nuts and bolts, brake cleaner does not get the job done. You know, I used to just like spray brake cleaner in a rag and just rub the nuts and bolts, but I want to get stuff super bitchin', because I got to hold myself to a high standard, set a good example for you guys and some of the young bucks that are watching the channel, you know? Ooh, yeah. This thing's going to be sick. The mustache, I did do a little bit of a mustache trim, so appreciate it, dude. I actually just bought a Jawzrsize. It's a jaw exerciser, this little thing you chew on, get the jawline strengthened up. What up, Connor? Good to see you, dude. Greetings from Hungary, hell yeah. Mustache example, yeah. That's so funny, the taco truck dudes were in here. That's hilarious. You know, they just found me organically. I never told them that I make content. Just saw one of my videos online. I got a question for you guys. Are you familiar with Gyeon? No, it's Gyeon. Gyeon detailing products? Let me know if you are. What I had to do. But yeah, it's getting cold and rainy up here on the north coast, guys. I think it's officially fall. shouldn't tell people I make content. Why not? It's my job and all. You know, when I meet people in the community, I tell them what I do for work. I don't see any reason as to why I shouldn't. It's not like I'm making OnlyFans. ET. Yeah, we're better than that. Even if I did make porn, you wouldn't be able to afford it. Yeah, I'm always networking because you never know, you know, like local people could be, you know, have a local business, an automotive business or something. I got to turn down my Frank Sinatra. What we should do is make an only trans, but that would sound terrible. That's not even an automotive related OnlyFans. Yeah. OnlyFans, L. Big L OnlyFans. This thing's sick, dude. We'll be able to like submerge like half of an oil filter housing at a time, I think. Could submerge it halfway, flip it. But this is gonna be perfect for nuts and bolts. I gotta figure out where in the shop I'm gonna put it. You know, maybe on the workbench, maybe put it underneath the parts cleaner that I have set up now. We can sort of do big scrub jobs on top and then let stuff run in the parts cleaner down below. I don't know. But I figured, hey, might as well just come in the garage, kick it. I always have such a good time hanging out with you guys on live. Got our little drain. Hey, you got some juice in there. This collar's a little loose. Well, there's not going to be too much setup on this. It looks pretty simple. I do want to test it out though. I also need to see, like, are we going to run degreaser? Are we going to run straight water? Taco truck day off crossover when? Dude, we should. But the only problem is everybody will know where I live because there's only one taco truck, you know what I mean? I'm not worried about like doxing myself with you guys, people who want to watch my live and hang out, you know, but there's lots of crazies out there, you know what I mean? I try to stay relatively safe with things on that, but Tim says, hey Alec, I never actually go to someone's live, but I really appreciate your content. I'm 22, just bought my first car. It's a 328i from 1998. I try to do my own maintenance and you help me a lot. That is such a cool comment, Tim. Thanks for jumping in, man. I try to keep it as real with you guys as possible, even on lives and through the content and stuff. And, you know, I gotta say that I try to make my content appealing to everybody, but the number one thing I wanna do is try to make content for dudes like Tim. You know, you're 22, I'm 31. I was asking you guys about Geon, right? They're a really high-end detail product company and they sell on FCP Euro. And nice, I'm glad that video was helpful for you. And I had a meeting with them yesterday. They reached out to me through email. They're a big company, guys. They're a Korean company and they're international. And they saw my content on FCP Euro's Instagram and they said that they want to possibly work out a contract for 2025 and 2026. And a cool question he asked me was like, what's your 1 to 2 year plan? You know, what's your overall goal with the channel? And I told him that I want to inspire and motivate people that don't have the confidence to work on their car yet, or that are a little bit scared or hesitant of some of those larger jobs. But I also want to set a good example for the next generation. And I want to show people that being of service in any way that you can is just extremely rewarding and it's a good thing to do. You know, it's selfless, but it's also selfish at the same time. Because it's like, being of service to somebody else is one of the best feelings that you can ever have. It's like a drug, you know what I mean? A healthy drug, right? You want to do more of it because it's so rewarding. And so that's awesome, Tim. Thanks for tuning in, dude. This thing's gonna be easy, right? Just plug it in. I just gotta see here exactly like what type of fluid. Who was it in here? Chad, I think it was Chad Riddle that said he had one of these. What type of fluid you use in here? Michigan Fire Department, what's up, dude? That's sick. Yeah, apparently they're a really, really nice detailing company. I reached out to my buddy Mario and was asking him about it, and he said that, you know, they're like top dog detail products. So they want me to ceramic coat the giveaway car, which will, been dealing with the church. What do you mean? Connor says, it's crazy. I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTubers. I think you're the only YouTuber that I actually get to talk to and communicate with. I always try to communicate with you guys as much as possible. You know that I really try to reply to every YouTube content as well, but I was just talking to my brother today, like it's getting hard to keep up. But, oh, big church fire. Dang, dude. That's what's up. I miss structure fires, but I don't like hearing that it's church. But I always try to keep dialogue with you guys. You know, we only got 52 people in here, and it's perfect. We can have a cool, intimate conversation through live and stuff, you know? When you're in service of your fellow man, you are in the service of God. Amen, dirty hippie stacker. Izzy says, it's like Han said, you don't need to know what's going on. You just need to feel it. You learn by doing. And that's what I'm all about, you know? I'm all about just learning as I go. You know what I mean? Larry's from Illinois here. Love the channel. Sick. Is that the one where that dude drove a truck into and there was like a shooting? Because that was super tragic. Greetings from Costa Rica. What's up, Marco? It's a little earlier in the day today, so hopefully we catch some more people that normally can't catch my lives when I do it a little later. A77 says, I have turbos, oil pan gasket, control arms changed on an E92 335i. Thanks to you. Hell yeah, dude. That is awesome. Super cool. Crystal's cleaning the throttle body, replacing the IAC valve this weekend on the old Honda. Sick. I hope that works out good for you. What's up, Adriano? Thanks for all the love on Instagram, dude. Been super appreciative of you, Adriano. You've been killing it. Been watching some of your kart content too, man. Good old CCR, that's right. Izzy, I bet you regret selling it, but I'll be honest with you. I don't regret selling my E30. It's in good hands. Homie's got it down in Stockton, but that 80s fuel injection technology was kicking my ass. All right, guys, I got to look at this real quick. I got to see. Do not operate. Don't get water directly from the tap. Do not add toxic, sterilizing, or acidic solvents. Just tell me, Vivor. Tell me what kind of fluid to use. Just regular degreaser? Open the lid, add clean water. Put what you need to clean the tank. Ensure the clean water is no higher than the max. I think just straight degreaser. You guys have any info? Hell yeah, dude. I'll always watch your content. Sage? She is Larry. Larry with the 20 bucks? Larry, thanks, dude. You guys see Sage? She back there. Just keeping an eye on things for me. Thank you, Larry. Really appreciate it, dude. Dinner's on Larry tonight. Larry Meister. Shout out, Larry. Super, super generous of you, dude. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'm really excited about Geon reaching out to me. It sounds like it would be a really cool collaboration. Get some new detail products on the channel. Okay, you use Mr. Clean. All right, so we could use straight water. I think I'll just use degreaser out of my parts cleaner. I got a big jug of stuff that I bought from Harbor Freight. We'll close this valve and then that's it. Awesome. Thanks again, Larry. Super generous of you guys. I never ask for any donations or anything like that, but I'm always very appreciative when I get them. That's it, guys. Just plug the cord in. Find an outlet for it. I don't know where dinner is yet. I was thinking about getting a fried chicken sandwich. There's this place that specializes in like lemon pepper fried chicken sandwiches and like Nashville hot chicken sandwiches. So I think I'll probably get one of those, go pick it up, because I'm a little low on groceries right now. My favorite BMW, E39 M5. E39 M5. I was talking to Alex from Geon yesterday, and I told him that dream car for the channel will be a E36 M3, E46 M3, or E39 M5. Updates on the blue E46? I've been daily driving it right now because my brother, nice, that's a good dinner right there, Al Pastor tacos. I had tacos yesterday, so I'm a little burnt, but my brother's driving the E90 335i right now while we work on his truck. So I'm daily driving this thing. And then I think once I finish the giveaway car, I might try to do some paint on the 330i, the E46. And it's got a little bit of a tick in the engine too. So maybe we'll pull the engine and just tear it down once I'm back to daily driving the 335i. 335i is consuming some oil too. And this thing consumes some oil too. So, you know, it's gonna need probably oil control rings. E46 M3, I have a E6535i, love it. That's a great chassis. There's a 1 Series M on Cars and Bids over original MSRP already this week. That would be a sweet car. Nuno? Hey man, what's up? I'm from Portugal here. Love your channel, rebuilding an E46 coupe right now. That is so cool that you're from Portugal, man. Porch is doing great. Porch finish is holding up really good. It's getting a little dirty. I think I'm gonna pressure wash it, put another top coat on it later this year. But I think we'll probably let it ride over the winter time and refinish it in the spring. Someone was telling me on the video that if you just like sort of give it a quick scuff and then add another coat of that, I think I use like Cabot's Australian oil deck finish, should go good. All right, well, let's get this sucker filled up. We're not supposed to go over the max line. I don't know what the max line, where the max line is though. I'm assuming it's this ridge. Larry, do you know? Larry, dude, get something for Sage. All right, dude, I'll go get her some toys. Thank you so much. Larry, is this the max line, you think? No, me and my brother aren't twins. He's actually 6 years older than me, believe it or not. Larry, let me give that a like. Everybody give Larry some love in the comments. That is so cool. I would love the info on E-Day 2s once we get one on the channel, dude. Absolutely. Thanks again, Larry. Would love to see a rebuild series for your brother's truck. We're doing it, dude. It's in the process right now. Amber says, what color for braces? Probably white, right? What's special about the M5 E39? It's the best engine BMW ever made. It's the S62, naturally aspirated 5-liter V8. You do a resonator delete on one of those things, it is the most beautiful sounding engine you've ever heard. They drive great, they're timeless, they look beautiful, they have loads of torque, 6-speed manual. I used to dirt bike when I was younger. We used to have like 7 dirt bikes in my family and a quad, and we'd spend a lot of time in Bullhead City, Arizona, and we do a lot of dirt biking out there. I'm gonna assume that this is the fill line right here, or the max line. So we'll sort of keep it relatively low. We'll test it out with some hardware I got for my brother's truck, I think. Let me go get the water jug. First, we need to find a good place to set this up. Where should we set this up, guys? Where should we set this up? Let's see. So, workbench, toolbox. I do have a plug back there, and I could keep it on top of my toolbox, but it might look a little ugly. We could put the parts cleaner on top of the workbench, but it might get in the way for other content creation projects. Over here under the TV, we have the parts washer, and I do have this shelf down here. We could do this shelf down here, and I can get all these buckets out of here. I also do have a drain that goes to the sewer, and we can run our parts washer juice right down there. Other than that, I also have this workbench back here with my belt sander and my drill press. I think over here might be good because it's sort of out of the way. What's up, Sage? What's up? You want to play? Arr. Arr. It's got to scramble her brains. Arr. All right, there's your and she's gone. Let's set it up over here. Last table. Correct me on your name, Nuno or Nuno? Because I don't see a tilde over the N, but it's Portuguese, so it might be different. Ripper says, great content on E46s. They are great cars. I got one with 46K on it. Dude, that thing is brand new. Thanks, Larry. Thing's pretty sweet. I'll show you guys. Well, you probably saw the videos, so you probably saw operation, but Luis says, I work 18 hours Monday through Friday, 12 hours on the weekend. Dude, dang, dude, you are hustling. Speaks as you read, Nuno. Okay, got it. My mom just got back from a trip to Portugal and Spain. She loved it. Also, a sneak peek of future projects. I don't know if my boy Rob from Rob's Weekend Garage is going to join us today, but new kidney grills for the E46 giveaway car, courtesy of Rob. Super stoked on that. Incredibly generous of him. That dude goes through so many cars, you know, parting out old M3s and stuff. I hope you get to come to America one day, dude. Can't discount the S54. The S54 is also another one of BMW's best engines. S54 and the S62. This is a real leather center console from an M3 that Rob sent over to me because the old one's busted up. And I was gonna buy it brand new from FCP Euro, and I was pricing it out. And dude, these things are expensive. They're like a couple $100. So I'm super stoked that Rob sent this one over. Incredibly generous of him. What else did he send me? Light switch, light control module and light switch, because I believe this is the issue as to why the fog lights are staying on the giveaway car. And that car doesn't have auto headlights, so I needed one that specifically doesn't have auto, and Rob sent it over, so I'm super stoked. Tiny Grow, I gotta read this. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Love that. My N54 twin turbo has 98K purrs like a kitten. That is sweet. One thing to look out for on the N54s is the oil supply hoses that feed the turbos. They get plugged up with oil coking. So sometimes it's a good idea to replace those hoses as preventative maintenance. Or if you ever get in there and have an opportunity to remove them, it would be a good idea to run like a drill bore brush down in there and clean it out. Because what happens is there's buildup that develops in those oil supply lines, and then it starves the turbos of oil supply, and it can cause them to prematurely fail. This is one of the rear ashtray covers and ashtray assembly with a working door, which is super rare to find. And again, Rob sent it out to me, so super stoked on that. What else? I think that's all. He also sent me out some food, like some stuff from his trip to Buffalo, New York. It was super cool of him just to send all this stuff. And then John sent me the parts cleaner. So all a bunch of really cool stuff, but we'll clean off a little spot on the table. We'll get this parts cleaner set up, do a little test, and answer some questions with you guys. Yeah, oil supply lines for the turbo, Larry. So there's 2 of them for each turbo. Turbo inlet, oil inlet, oil outlet, coolant inlet, coolant outlet. Lee says, Alec, you're a rare talent. So genuine, so grounded. Thanks for your helping keep my E46 vert on the road. That's a very kind compliment of you, Lee. Thanks for the comment, man, and thank you for the support. I told Alex from Gion this yesterday. I said, dude, I got the best community on YouTube. I really do. You know, it's just nice people that want to help each other and provide information. People are supportive. The Discord community is incredible. People are just super kind to each other. And I'm really hoping that once I choose the winner for this giveaway car, that I can plan some stops in some cities across the US. G-Lo, welcome to the BMW Club. They'll always leak. If they're not leaking, they don't have oil in them. Yeah, Rob's a real homie for sending all that stuff. He's a real homie. Also, can't forget to shout out Andy Crozier. We did the Liqui Moly engine flush thanks to him. He also sent me a bottle of .4 And he also sent me a shift boot for the auto shifter. And he sent me a bunch of window switches. Bro, Larry, dude. Come on, man. Dude. Thank you so much, Larry. You've been so incredibly supportive, dude. I've never had a donation like that on a live. Let's give Larry some love in there. I gotta throw a heart and a like on there and do my part. Nuno, Larry's killing, dude. Larry, you're absolutely killing it. I'm telling you guys, we got the best community in the world. Andy's helping me out. Larry's helping me out. Rob, John Lamson. Let's not forget Gerardo, the one that gave me the car. Gerardo's nephew's gonna help us out with some paint work. We had Knipex sponsor the first video and donate like $1,000 worth of hand tools. FCP Euros donated all the parts. We got a full set of new tires thanks to Continental. Continental hooked it up with some DWS 06s. Nice all-weather sport tire. Larry, so incredibly generous of you, man. Thank you so much. Dinner on Larry. But yeah, I'm hoping that, we're going to be driving through the United States. And let's say, we'll drive through Tucson, Arizona. Maybe I can stop in Tucson for a night and we can do a little meet and greet there and have beers together. And then, I don't know what other states. Maybe we're going to drive through Texas. Maybe we're going to go north and go through Coeur d'Alene, or maybe we're going to Portland, or maybe we're going to Buffalo, New York, or Jacksonville, Florida. I really don't know yet, but time will tell. Man, thanks again, Larry. It's one of the most generous live donations I've ever received. No, I can say without a doubt, that is the most generous live donation I've ever received. So thanks again, man. That's super generous of you. This content creator journey has not been easy. We burned the savings down on that first giveaway card, dude. We were down to just a couple $100 left in the bank account, but we gotta stick with it. Can't give up. Just gotta keep going. I think we'll just throw it back here. I do need to put in a double plug there instead of a single. We'll go here. Let me grab some water. We'll fill it up. My man. Yeah, it's a nice little Alcantara shift boot. All right, let me grab some water real quick. I think I got some right here. We're not gonna sit here and watch it, but I at least want to test it out. Valves closed. I'm thinking like halfway is a good mark. Go like that much water, and I'm thinking we'll go heavy degreaser. What do you guys think? I don't think it'll hurt to go a little strong. No hearts, just thumbs up. All the hearts, all the thumbs up. Penateguin. The silky chickens are gone. They're not dead, but I rehomed them. If you guys weren't in here, I had 2 chickens die this last week. It was very sad. I had to bury them in the backyard. I didn't eat them because I found them a little late and they were rigor mortised out. But I said a prayer for the chickens and I buried them in the backyard. And so then I was down to 13. And then water in an ultrasonic cleaner does a great job. Cool. And then I'm thinking we'll use some of this degreaser. Super heavy duty degreaser. I bought this at Harbor Freight. But no, you guys probably saw in one of my videos that brown Silky, she had a huge gash in the back of her head and it was starting to get infected. And some friends from a Bible study I've been going to, they only had 1 chicken named Marsh, and they had a couple other chickens get predated and they died. And so their chicken buddy needed a friend. So last week I brought the 2 Silkies and one of my birds, Curry, and I loaded them up in dog kennels, and I brought them over to their house and rehomed them. So they got a good life. Honestly, they're way more comfortable than they are here at my house. They have way more room. They have some little kids, like 7 and 9 years old, that are gonna be playing with them all the time. And and giving them a good life. And so they're in good hands. What kind of hardware should we test? Maybe just like some of this rusty stuff. I don't really think it's gonna get rust off, right? Kind of need some like real dirty hardware. This is all hardware for my brother's Toyota Tundra. For you guys that weren't tuned in, I tore the cylinder heads off of it last weekend, and I got the cylinder heads off at the machine shop right now. What do you think? Should we just run with these? See how they clean up? I don't have any carburetor parts because I'm not a big carburetor guy. Valentin says, what are we working on today? Mr. John Lampson, subscriber, channel member, Discord moderator, sent me a new ultrasonic parts cleaner. So we're gonna test it out. Yeah. So I'll just let this run and then we'll go post up and I'll try to answer some questions for you guys if you guys got any. Or we'll just hang. He does do a great job on the Discord. I mean, he is just so involved and he's so kind and generous with his time. I need to have a phone call with him soon just to say thank you, but these things are pretty smoked. Pretty rusty, pretty cruddy. Yes, please tell me a joke. Going in. What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone? Oh, I don't know, but this sounds good. What is it? You can't hear an enzyme, but you can hear a hormone, no doubt. That's pretty good. What's the difference between a BMW owner and a... What's the difference between a BMW and a porcupine? What's the difference between a BMW and a porcupine? With the BMW, the prick's on the inside. That's kind of a jab at everybody in here, but it's still funny. All right, so we got, oh, temperature setting. Too bad it's in Celsius. That's not very American. A BMW leaks without being poked. All right, so we got temp. Okay, so this will probably just run heat and then on and off. We got a switch back here. Oh, it beeps. We're live. Guys, who knows Celsius? And who can tell us a good Celsius temperature? Man, that is the loudest beep I've ever heard. Ah, that's annoying. 37.5? What's 37.5? Is 80 too much? Let's go with 50. Huh? Time. Okay, so that's heater on. Whoa, this thing's a screamer. Holy cow, guys, look at that. Whoa. It is literally vibrating that rust and dirt off of there. That is incredible. You guys see that? That is crazy. I probably should have used the basket. I should probably pull the stuff out and get the basket going. It's good to have it over there because that thing's an absolute screamer. You know, you don't want that on top of the toolbox while you're trying to tinker, but I should probably put my parts in this. I should get tongs. For the time being, we'll use my needle nose. It's mechanics tongs. How do you look after your rash? Do I have a rash? It is a BMW oil fryer. All right, let's turn this thing off real quick. Man, she's a screamer. Tash? Trash? I still don't know what you mean, brother. You'll never buy new hardware again. Yeah, you're probably right. All right, let's go in here. Definitely use the basket. These are all rusted out though, so I'm gonna find some other hardware that I have that's like super oil saturated, and we'll throw that in here too. But this thing's gonna be sick. It's just that ultrasonic vibration technology is just so, hey! As far as new content that I have coming out for you guys. CD, what's up, dude? I think if 50 Celsius, taste test it. I think if 50 Celsius is 122, we can go hotter than that, right? Why not? You should check out local Coparts, lots for deals on cars. I gotta sell some cars first. I'm gonna do this giveaway car, and then I'm probably gonna sell my 335i. Maybe one of you guys can buy it if you want. And then we'll start looking at new projects. But right now I accidentally locked my phone. I thought it would kick me out alive. Let's turn this sucker up. Let's do 60. For you metric folks out there, what's 60? Ooh, it's already warm. Boy, that thing's a screamer. Sage, I don't think Sage likes it. Yeah, I say send it too. I mean, dude, cars get exposed to 200 degrees on the regular, you know? Oh, I was telling you guys about content. So for future content projects I have coming up, this Sunday I have a video coming out on a F15 X5. It's the one that I did the rear airbags on a few months ago. It came back with an intermittent air suspension issue. Let me get myself set up so I'm not trying to multitask. So the airbags it just wasn't pumping up one day. And I'm like, shoot, man, you know, I quoted them for a compressor. It might need a compressor. And so I had her bring it by. It only happened once, right? She was like, the airbags won't pump up. So her husband went and drove it. And then the airbags pumped up and everything was fine. And so she finally brought it over to the shop. It had one fault related to the air suspension. And it was for raised control time. So basically when the compressor can't pump up within its parameters and its time frame, it'll throw that fault. And so I put it up on the lift and got access to the compressor, and I was commanding it with ISTA and just sort of monitoring it and listening to it. And then I noticed there was a giant chafed piece of wire. I'll show you guys a picture. And what happens is, hey Jocelyn. What happens is those compressors are on these big spring-like bushings because when they run, they vibrate like crazy. And the wiring harness rubbed against the unibody, and it chafed the wire against the unibody. So when the compressor would run, it was intermittently shorting out against the body. And so, hi Jocelyn. I'll show you guys a photo. Hopefully you guys can see it. So that's the main power wire to the compressor. You just saw your own text. And yeah, so basically the video is just going to be on me fixing the air suspension system with a roll of tape and a zip tie. Pulled the compressor out, wrapped it up, tidied it back up, and everything's good. Charged her $200 and everything should be gravy. As far as other content, 2 days ago I shot a video. I'm testing out I'm making an ASMR video. I don't know if you guys are familiar with ASMR type stuff, but No talking. Zero talking the entire video. I think it should actually come out pretty cool. You know, I'm trying to make it one of those videos where you could like throw on in the background while you're falling asleep or something. And so I did fuel filter and an oil service on my diesel truck, on my Duramax. That'll be a good video too. And then in the editing process and waiting on the machine shop for the cylinder heads. And then what's coming after that? Transmission pan on this. I'm gonna get started on that tomorrow. So got lots of content coming in. I hope I didn't screw up the live by accidentally pressing the lock screen. I haven't seen a comment update in a minute, so someone throw a comment in there to make sure everything's still working. Nuno says, hey man, I'm sorry to ask you, but in here, no, dude, never apologize for asking questions. Especially if we're on a live, I'm always more than happy to try to help. All right, we're still live. Thanks, dude. I got problems to get some parts interior on BMW E46 Coupe. Do you know if the pillars from inside, they are equal in other platforms? Oh, so you're talking about like, are the pillars in the E46 Coupe the same as other pillars on other cars? I don't know. Maybe somebody else in here has some information. My pillars are in super bad shape too. I'll show you. Also, if any of you guys ask questions and I missed them, copy and paste or add it down below. Sometimes I get a little squirrel brained and I can't catch all the comments. I want to answer you guys' questions if I can. Get this back door open. This stupid central locking switch doesn't work. I gotta unlock this car with the keys. I also need a Zimbabwe. I was involved in a bad collision. How would I know if the car is going to be a write-off or not? That's hard to say. It's really all based on the value of the car and the body shop estimate. So, like these pillars, they're peeling bad. And I was talking to FCP Euro. That's another really good point, Christopher says, if the airbag's deployed or not. So these always become delaminated. If you can be good at it, if you can do it well, you can re-glue it back on. I was talking to FCP Euro about doing a collaboration on teaching people how to do A, B, and C pillars, but they're getting very hard to find. And a lot of pillars are really like, they're super back ordered, right? It's almost like these lower windshield cowls. Like, I love doing them. It's such an easy way to refresh the look of a vehicle, but they're back ordered, or as mechanics like to say, they're made out of unobtainium because you can't obtain them anymore. So I would recommend re-gluing if that's what you're referring to. CD, if you did want to send us a picture, go to the community section on my YouTube channel and you can post on there, or you can post in the Discord. That would be a great way to do it. Let me see if I missed any questions in here. CD was, super camo man. What cars are you looking to offload and what cars are you looking to acquire to work on? So, I think a car that I'd like to acquire, I think is an F-body. A lot of people want to see how to do repairs on F-bodies, and they're kind of expensive. So getting an F-body on the channel I think would be very beneficial. As far as what cars to offload, it's really torn between selling my E46 330i, this one, and selling my E90 335i. Both of them, the paint is rough. As far as the engine goes though, like valve cover, oil pan, oil filter housing, it's got all new suspension, front and rear. I do need to do a manual transmission service on it. It's got new control arms, new tie rods. Like, this thing is super dialed in. It's just the paint is ugly. I think for the E90, I would probably ask for like $6,000 or best offer. I mean, it's got new turbos, new turbo oil and coolant lines, new oil pan, engine mounts, new valve cover, oil filter housings resealed. It's got $2,000 worth of injectors in it. High pressure fuel pump. I did the intake cleaning, cleaned all the carbon off of the intake valves. M3 suspension for control arms. Bilstein B4s, or I forget which Bilsteins I put in there, but it's got all new Bilsteins front and rear. It's really nice. It's just the paint is beat up. And it's kind of funny. That's how all my cars are, right? They're like reverse sleepers. Like, they look a little shitty from the exterior, but as far as maintenance and repairs go, like, they're completely dialed in under the hood, which is really funny. All right, let me catch up real quick. In which chat in the community should I post it in? You could just post it in public chat. It'll be seen by a lot of eyeballs there. Or post it in the community section on the YouTube page. I would do a 1 Series too. I'm really open to anything. As far as like cars that I really want, I would love an E39 540i. I used to have one. That was my very first BMW with the M62 TU. Nice V8, 4.4 liter V8. I love that engine. It's a great engine. Timing chains fail and the timing covers love to leak. Getting into an F-body would be great too, but my contact over at FCP Euro was actually saying that they'd be interested in getting me an F-body so I can do repair videos for them on it. So who knows, 2026 is gonna be a big year. Maybe they'll hook me up with an F-body so I can start making content on it. Cabos. No, it's Cabos. My 335i 2015 exhaust has some white smoke, but the coolant level is still the same. You know, I doubt it's white smoke. It's probably just condensation and or steam. A lot of people think their cars produce white smoke, but in reality, if you haven't overheated your car, I doubt there's a head gasket issue, and I doubt you're consuming coolant. The real test is smelling it to see if it smells sweet, like burnt coolant, but I highly doubt it. I used to have customers that would come into my shop with that same concern. So, my personal opinion, I don't have all the information, but I would assume you're probably overthinking it, and it's probably not a problem. Want to fix your E60? Super Camo Man says, want to fix E61 headliner and dye the pillars and headliner black. So a video showing pillar work would be a lot of interest to me. I'll definitely do it. My brother has a craft company called Scorch Marker. I got some cool photos in here too. I'll show you his products. This was my first yellowtail I ever caught on the Black Pearl out of Long Beach at Catalina Island. This brother, Evan, also known as Vanator on YouTube, Instagram, has a craft company called Scorch Marker. And he makes this stuff, Maker's Magic. It's like a decoupage craft glue. He also makes some other products, some wood burning pens. And I was thinking about trying to use this to re-glue the pillar fabric. Because a lot of people will use sprays, but I wouldn't use the gloss. I would use the matte, Maker's Magic matte. That's his company, Scorch Marker. So I think I might try this and do a little collaborative video with my brother. See if I can fix up the pillars that way. So once I'm done with the giveaway car and we're in a good spot and I can start bouncing over to some other ideas, we'll definitely try to cover it. Man, that parts cleaner is really screaming. It's kind of distracting. It's only got a minute left though. Randy says, what should us E46 owners do if we can't find the windshield cowls, for example, and water damage is getting right into the glove box? Can we use some sealant? That's tough. I would honestly look for a used windshield cowl on eBay. See if you can do it that way. Let's see if FCP Euro has any. We'll look it up while we're on here. Cabos. answered that question. I really think that, you know, it's, I don't think you're burning coolant, dude. That's a relatively new car. I doubt that you overheated it. You know what? My Wi-Fi's been screwed up out here. Let me see if I can connect to the internet. I really don't think that you're burning coolant, dude. I really don't. Can you test the coolant for presence of exhaust gas? You could do that. I have the tool. I have the tool right here. Oh, nice. Parts cleaner's done. Man, I was getting overstimulated from that sucker. Where's that tool I just used? Here. Combustion leak detector fluid. Mechanic said it is oil, but he wasn't sure. Also, engine oil level is the same as before. No, this is a strut compressor. You could try one of these. Combustion leak detector, but this is just going to show exhaust gases getting into your cooling system. And you take this and you fill this up with blue fluid. I did it in my most recent Tundra video. You fill it up with blue fluid, then you take this little aspirator and it pulls gas from your cooling system up into the blue fluid, and if the blue fluid changes color, then that confirms exhaust gases getting into your cooling system. But you're talking about white from the exhaust, right? And that is possible, but head gasket leaks aren't always both ways, right? Exhaust gas getting into your cooling system and cooling system getting into your exhaust, right? Sometimes it's only one way. It's not always back and forth. But I would love to hear if you find a resolution to it, because I think it might just be condensation. Exhausts get water in them all the time. They have drain holes specifically for it. But I got some comments to catch up on now. That kit was only $40 to purchase from the auto parts store. Ryan used to have a 540. Sold it when I got the E39 M5. Oh, dude, when you're done with that car, let me know how much you want for it. Adriano, I hope I get to meet you one day, Alec. Seeing you fix my dream car just puts a huge smile on my face. I appreciate it, dude. Let me know where you're at. I'm not sure where you're at. What's your location? Patrick, N51 secondary air pump delete and pass Pennsylvania inspection. Jimmy's from Sweden. Love the channel. Hell yeah, Jimmy. That is so cool to hear, dude. I was just telling Gion yesterday in that meeting that I got viewers all over the place because, you know, BMW is international, and it's just really cool to see international viewers. I believe if it was coolant, then it would be head gaskets, but the temperature of my BMW stays normal. If I had blown head gaskets, it should give me heating issues. Yes, it probably should have. Larry, that's what's up, dude. You also like to catch some yellowtail. Mr. ANP Mechanic 04 says, hello, Alec. What's up, dude? Alfred, I would cover repairs on an N20 engine. Do I want to own it and like vouch for it? I don't really like the N20 engine very much. Between turbo failures and the timing chains, I just think it was a very poor design on behalf of BMW. Would I like to showcase repairs to teach you guys and to go through them myself? Like, I think I've done one timing chain, but it wouldn't be something that I would want to like spend my own money on. You know what I mean? Puppy! Hello. Abel says, I think I might have to replace, what? You want to come back up here? You want to come back up here? I might have to replace center support bearing soon. I don't know which brand I have to purchase. BMW brand is always best. Hi. Genuine BMW is always best. I think I'm putting an L-ring center support bearing in the giveaway car. What? She's being very, very needy. You needy little girl. Yes, I know. You got the zoomies. Let me see, because we need to check on that windshield cowl and see if they're available on FCP Euro, and I'll tell you what brand center support bearing I'm installing. Let me see here. Hi, Sage. I hear ya. I would be open to other brands. Porsche, Audi, Mercedes, yes. Like, I'm confident with BMWs, so I can show you guys how to do repairs confidently. I can check it once I'm off live, but I can't check it right now, CD, because between music, Sage, live, comments, going on laptop, I got too much going on. You could do a compression test, yes. You know any good tutorials on how to learn ISTA? I sort of learned ISTA while working at the shop, but I will make a video on it soon, and I'll give you guys an ISTA tutorial. Gilo says, what's the best way to diagnose a leak? I have videos on how to diagnose oil leaks and coolant leaks. You'll be able to find them on my YouTube channel. I'd say that's the best resource. Just got another order of parts today from FCP Euro. They're back ordered on the cowl. I never thought to go with the used one. Figure the removal would mess them up a bit. You know, it's really that rubber seal at the top. That's the only issue. And so as long as that rubber seal on the top is okay, there's clips on the back that you can replace. Common head gaskets on N55? No, I've never heard of a head gasket on an N55. Injectors and turbos are common. Rod bearings are common. Chris has some good info, but Cabaos. Oh, dude, you're in San Jose. You're not that far, Adriano. Abel says, I have an 05 330 Ci ZHP with 68K. Congrats, dude. That's low mileage. It vibrates when on 35 to 40 in cold, and it's gone when hot. That's interesting. Is it under load? Because tire balancing isn't really a 30 to 40. Tire balancing comes into effect when it's like 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. Sounds like a possible drive shaft issue, but maybe as the car gets hotter, the center support bearing expands a little bit. Sometimes the rear yokes can produce drive shaft vibrations too. There's a resource out there where you can send in your old drive shaft as a core, and they send you a new drive shaft that's fully rebuilt with new flex disc, new yoke, new center support bearing, and it's quite affordable. And it's already fully balanced, and that's kind of a better way to go than rebuilding a drive shaft sometimes, because I don't have a drive shaft shop near me that can balance drive shafts. And so that might be a good way for you to go about it. But sadly, you know, I would drop the exhaust. First, I would check your transmission mounts. I would check the condition of the flex disc, and if both of those look good, I would drop the exhaust and drop the heat shield and visually inspect the center support bearing and the rest of the drive shaft. LA, what's up? I'm from Orange County originally, so that's cool. Wish you weren't 2,000 miles away. I need the 90K service on 135. I'm in St. Charles, Minnesota? M-O? Missouri? You're not that far, dude. What's my favorite tool company? Kind of depends on what tools. Sockets and ratchets, Snap-on. Pliers, Knipex. Those are my two favorites. Good to see you, OBX. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Campbell, near San Jose. Okay. Why do people buy B58 cars when they can have horrible steering compared to the E90? I think people just, you know, like the newest, latest, and greatest. I don't have too much experience on the B58s, but I do know they have like a plastic oil filter housing that can be super problematic. But hopefully, I think that would be a good engine for us to cover that I could learn on the channel would be a B58. Valentine, I am about 4 hours, 5 hours from Sacramento. If you take Highway 20 through Mendocino County over to the coast and then drive the 101 up to Humboldt County. Midwest Mechanic said, did the cooling system and following along, did the cooling system and followed along with the video for the E46. I have excessive pressure after driving it. The system will hold pressure for 8 to 12 hours. Any advice? Did the car overheat? Because if it overheated, you might, okay, it's Missouri, okay. I got it right the second time. If it overheated, honestly, that sounds like the same issue I had in my brother's Tundra. Midwest, I would recommend watching the video I just released last weekend, 2 weekends ago, on my brother's Tundra, because I had overpressurization in the coolant hoses on that. He overheated it. I put a new radiator and new hoses in it. I was getting exhaust gases into the cooling system, which I found with that combustion gas leak detector I showed you guys in a minute. San Gabriel Valley, what's up? I was from Arizona. I'm in Australia now watching you. Love the channel. Thanks, Steve. That's sick, dude. What time is it in Arizona? Chain tensioner in my 2006 N52 went bad and the piston had gone past its maximum when I pulled it out. Spring popped out. Okay, so the tensioner just fully maxed out and came out. I've changed it to a new OEM one, but now my chain noise is, I think you had timing chain slack and it was slapping around and it beat up those timing chain guides. It sounds like you're gonna have to take off the timing chain cover and do the timing chain on that sucker. Because if the tensioner fails and that chain doesn't keep tensioned, it's just gonna rattle around like crazy and it'll start beating up all the plastics. I would also cut your oil filter open. Cut your oil filter open and look for timing chain guide material in there or any rod bearing material and stuff, because you might have, you know, tried to save it with the tensioner, but it might have you know, gotten some damage. Christopher's in Kansas. Sick. 45 minutes south of Kansas City. You guys got some great barbecue sauce out there. I bet you got some good barbecue. We got cows here too, dude. I love cows. Really appreciate all your content and videos. Love how passionate you feel for cars and helping people. I'm more passionate about helping people than I am about cars, I'll tell you that much. Congratulations on your new lift. Keep up the good work. Let me know next time you're in the OC. Okay, you got it. I'll put the word out next time. I might be coming down in Christmas. And if I do, we'll try to get like an LA, Orange County, San Diego meetup. Maybe we can meet at like Cars and Coffee in San Clemente. People from San Diego can come up to Orange County. People from LA can come down. That's what I did last year. Do you think an E92 or E82 drives better? What are the differences with that? Well, E82's 1 series, right? E92s are like little go-karts. E92s are pretty sweet. I've always personally been a 3 series guy, but I'm a sedan guy. I prefer 4 doors. I don't know why. I've never really enjoyed the longer look of the front doors. So I'm kind of a 4-door guy. But where on FCP Euro's site did you find the t-shirts? Dude, they sent them to me. I don't know. I don't know if you can buy them. But speaking of that, I owe you guys one of explanation about the center support bearing. So let me take a look here. I'm using a kit, BMW drive shaft overhaul kit. So you'll see how it works. We'll see the quality of it and see if it vibrates when I'm done, but it's this kit here, Cortico BMW drive shaft overhaul kit. There's the part number if you want it, 227. And it comes with the butyl tape, and it comes with the nut for the center support bearing, the new bearing with the bracket, flex disc, hardware for the transmission mounts. No, this is center support bearing nuts that go on the studs. And then 6 bolts and 6 nuts for flex disc. The manufacturer of the center support bearing is a Rhine. Rhine's been decent. The butyl tape's genuine. All the hardware's genuine. Flex disc and the nut for the center support is Cortico. Wait. Drive shaft center support bushing. Oh, okay. That's the nut. So that's Febby Bilstein. Then the actual center support bearing is Rhine. It's got 5 stars, 17 ratings, so it should work good. 5 star, no vibration, easy install. The bearing is NSK, whereas the OE is Koyo. So it's not an OE, but suitable replacement for OEM. The genuine BMW is a lot more expensive. And personally, I've been really enjoying the kits from FCP Euro because it just makes it really easy. It's also very digestible for you guys and the viewer if you want to do the same repairs as me. So I think that's a good way to go about it. So I got a kit for the differential service with fill plug and drain plug and 2 jugs of fluid. I got a kit for the drive shaft rebuild and then a kit for the trans service. So that's the video I'm going to shoot tomorrow. Then the day after that, I have to do the front wheel bearings on my pastor from church's 2008 Toyota Highlander. But I bought whole assemblies for that. Next thing I'm going to look here is go into the 2002 325 E46 and we'll look up windshield cowl. Yeah, back ordered. Back ordered on the windshield cowl, which is a shame because this one needs it bad. My other E46 needs it bad, so we need a parts manufacturer to step up and start producing them again. Expedition Beast Runner says, hey, great videos, bro. Thank you, appreciate that. John, I was waiting for you to show up, dude. This live was because of you. And I'll show you, because now you're finally in here. I'm still catching up on comments. We got the parts cleaner set up, dude. Thank you so much, John. We got the heater set up, 60 degrees Celsius. We're doing metric. Ran a timer on it. Ran a 15-minute cycle on some old rusty hardware that I had laying around. Let's grab my needle nose and see what they look like. The rust isn't going to come off of them, but you should have seen it at the beginning, dude. There was all clouds of all the dirt that was coming out. This is going to be the best for like really oily stuff. It's not going to get rust off, but as far as getting in there and really like cleaning the grime out of the threads, it's going to work great. So, John, this live was all because of you, John. I'm getting dialed in for Big Wrench Fest on the giveaway car tomorrow. And I was like, oh, we got to get the ultrasonic cleaner set up today and get the shop cleaned up so we can clean all the transmission pan bolts. Then we'll throw the trans pan in the big parts washer, get that thing all scrubbed up and bitching. So big shout out to John Lamson for being an awesome subscriber, channel member, holding down the Discord for me and hooking me up with this 7-liter Vibor ultrasonic parts cleaner. Incredibly generous of you, man. I'm gonna get this thing shut off for the day. But this live's for you, John. 10:30 in Australia. Nice. Just getting your day started. Good lift video. Oh, thank you. Any chance you'd tackle doing a complete paint job on one of your cars? Honestly, I don't have much interest. I do have a new connection with a guy that's doing paint work for me in the future, and he's gonna shoot a lot of that content for me. Shout out to the Perez family. So I think it's one of those things I'd rather pass sanding and painting off to somebody else so I can do what I'm good at and what I enjoy. I'm interested in tackling smaller projects in the future, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like I don't have too much interest into getting into paint and body work because you just get overspray on everything. We're gonna have to tape up the whole shop with visqueen and plastic sheeting. Eventually I will, right? But as far as like now, cranking out as much content as possible and getting you guys weekly uploads every Sunday. By the way, I've been posting every Sunday at like 9 or 10 a.m., usually 9 a.m. based off audience metrics. And I've been really trying to stay consistent for you guys. So I hope you guys have picked up on that and have been enjoying the steady uploads. Would you ever do a forced induction project? I totally would. What I would like to do for something like that is like if I had a 540i with the M62 TU, they sell a supercharger kit, and I'd like to collaborate with somebody that sells a supercharger. That'd be sick. Alcantara shift boot is a great addition to the giveaway E46. Yeah, dude. Andy Crozier hooked it up. I think it should fit. Let me go check while I catch up on comments. I was given an X3 and want to do some work on it myself. You totally should. X3s aren't too bad to work on. Okay. This leather shift boot's pretty stretched and tired right now. Let's see. I should be able to at least just see. Yeah, we should be able to pop the clips on it and replace it. And then, yeah, this thing is just getting dried out and tight. These are super easy to pop up, by the way. And then this center console, dude, is completely smoked. And I think this is a synthetic leather, and the one that Rob from Rob's Weekend Garage sent me is M3 with real leather. So I'm super stoked on that. I have to change the rear wheel bearings in my E82. I've had the new bearings for about 6 months now. I have a video on that. It was on my E46, and the process should be pretty similar. Harbor Freight sells a kit, and it's a front wheel bearing puller. If it's accessible, I can show you, but that video would be of a great resource to you. I did it about 2 years ago, but you should be able to find it on my YouTube channel relatively easy. I use this Maddox front wheel bearing adapter, and then this slide hammer to get the hub out from the wheel bearing. Hi, puppy. So hopefully that will be of some help to you, but it's kind of a pain. You got to pull the axle, separate the outside bearing race, but I think that video would be of some big help. Oh man, so much pressure. Yeah, I was hanging out with the family. Love seeing that in your shop. No, it's gonna get lots of use. Thanks again, man. That was super generous of you. I got your video response. Super sick. I'll be tying in with you this week. I've just been a little busy catching up on communications with everybody. It's been a busy week. I was telling the guys earlier in the live, I had an hour-long meeting with Gion Detail Products yesterday. And so we got some really cool stuff lined out for the future. You should promote your Patreon more. You know, I would, but there's a hesitancy. What, Sage? You're being so needy. You're being so needy. You just want some love. You're bored. You know, there's a hesitancy there with me asking you guys for your money. I'm trying to do this giveaway series and give back, right? And yes, the financial support is always very much useful to me. Definitely not making YouTube money yet, you know what I mean? Bank account is not fat. But also at the same time, you know, we're all working our own jobs. We're all trying to make a living here. Groceries are expensive. Life is expensive. So I like to ask you guys to subscribe and share it with your friends and participate in the giveaway series, but I have hesitancies to ask you for your money. So if you guys want to support me, that's awesome, and I'll always be grateful. But I don't want to ask you or to promote it because I don't know your financial situations. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Advice: why does my transmission light turn on after 45 to 60 minutes of highway driving without any other symptoms of trans issues, but after parking overnight, car runs like nothing happened? 2001 330i automatic. I'm not sure. You got any check engine lights? You know, I would go there. I'd pull codes on it and see what kind of fault you have and sort of go from there. It's kind of hard to say. Steve's got a Vivor inflatable paint booth and I resprayed the hood on my X5. That's awesome. That's a good idea. You know, I got Quality Body Works down the road for me that I did a collaboration with on Eric's 325. And so I got those guys to lean on, and I'm going to be doing some work with Perez Auto Body out of Salinas, California this year. So I'd rather have more time to crank out jobs like this as opposed to dedicating, you know, like 2 weeks to sanding, priming, prepping, painting. Plus, I'm not really that good of a painter. And if I'm doing something like exterior paint, I want it to be super bitchin'. I want the clear coat to lay down super nice. And I'm a big believer in using specialists for specific jobs, you know? If you got a German car, find a German specialist. If you got a Toyota, find a Japanese car specialist, stuff like that. Beast Runners in San Diego, sick. If we do a meetup in Orange County, definitely have to do it. Angel Soto says, Alec, what's up? You need a slide hammer. I have a bearing splitter that I've seen people use to separate the hub from the bearing. Also for separating that outside bearing race from the hub, I just used a Dremel, cut a crack in it, and then hit it with a hammer and it'll split out. You can also just hit it with a torch. I'm doing good, Angel. How are you? Yo, fellow technician, how much money do I need to send you to be allowed to send messages in your live? I mean, you're sending messages right now, dude. You ain't got to send me no money. I don't want any of your guys' money. Yes, money's good. Most of my problems money can solve. But similar to the comment about the Patreon, you know, it's an uncomfortable subject for me because I don't know if you need the money more than I do. You know what I mean? Do you have the 5 HP 19 transmission? Could be clutches slipping. You can use INPA to monitor the transmission temp and other stats to see if anything abnormal is happening. That's good advice. Get a quality scan tool to where you can pull codes on that transmission and actually see if there's any faults stored, you know. Is it, you know, clutch codes? Is it a torque converter code? You know, lots of stuff like that. But as far as transmissions, I'm not knowledgeable. Anytime we had transmission issues and we couldn't solve it with the transmission service or pulling the valve body and putting new solenoids in it, I've never torn down a transmission and put it back together. I do have a friend named Rigo Ratio on TikTok and Instagram, and he is extremely knowledgeable on transmissions. I don't know if you can reach out to him directly, but he has a lot of really good content that it just going over transmissions and how they're put together. But I'll be completely honest with you guys, transmissions is not my wheelhouse. I'd like to learn more, but I don't have that experience yet. Ryan says, love the content. Keep up the good work, guys. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Tacos are in my belly from yesterday, or in my plumbing. Tonight we're going to do a chicken sando, thanks to Larry. Speaking of that, I will be hopping off here in 6 minutes and 15 seconds at the 90-second mark. Foxwell is pretty decent. Foxwell sent me a scan tool last year. I don't know what number it is. I'll check for you. But it's been a good scan tool, and it pulls from all the different modules, and it's been a useful tool for me. Where's that sucker? Foxwell. They're relatively cheap. I'd like to work with a scan tool company because I know that ISTA isn't accessible for everybody. Autel is good, CD. This is a Foxwell AutoMaster Pro. I don't know what exact number. I got a serial back here, but it's been a good scan tool. I've been happy with it. Full Blown Ligma says, thank you for your help on the oil pan gasket. I assume you probably used the oil pan gasket video as a tutorial. So if so, I hope it covered all the details for you. I love restoring E46s. I've done six so far. 2002, another 2002, and 2006. That's badass. I'm back at it again, doing my homework while watching the live. Good on you, man. Good on you, Adriano. Furious Wall says, hey, Alec, huge fan here. Love your content, and I've learned a lot from you. So big thanks to you, sir. Big thank you to you for your support and your viewership. That same thank you goes to everybody else in here. I would not be doing what I am doing today without you guys. If people don't watch my videos, if people don't consume my content, I don't have a job. So it's all thanks to you guys for supporting, commenting, sharing the comment, telling your friends. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, you got to give credit where credit's due, and it's not to here, it's to you guys. Crazy how from the first video on this channel there's been 0. Just wait till I shave the mustache and there will be, I'll go back in time. I'll be younger than the first video. I think we'll chop it off soon. This is the last piece of the fire service I've been holding on to. I haven't shaved it since I left the fire service. Creedor BMW specific scanner is what I use and can get into all the modules. Free updates, about 100. That's a really good price. That's a really good way to go. I bought a Topdon scanner as well. And it was like 50 bucks. And it comes with an app. And you connect it to your phone and you can do everything on it. I think you can even do coding. And TopScan. I have a connection issue on my E46. I can't connect to ISTA. I can't connect to anything. I can connect to a basic scan tool and get into the DME, but I can't get into the DSC, which sucks because I have a DSC light on that car. So once I make some more progress on the giveaway car, I gotta like chase down the wiring harness from the OBD2 plug and figure out where the connection break is, because it's not ISTA, it's not my ICOM, and something's acting funny. When buying a used car from a private party, what would your advice be for a B58? So I don't have really any experience that I can think of on the B58. My best advice would be find an independent German specialty shop or a BMW specialty shop and pay like the 200 bucks for a pre-purchase inspection, because one, you're gonna have a qualified tech go through and inspect the entire car, hopefully one that knows the B58s. I will check the connection on the ECU. But yeah, find a shop to do a pre-purchase inspection, because here's the deal, and I've talked about this before, is they're gonna look over the entire car, they're gonna pull faults on it, they're gonna check all the seat belts, they're gonna check all the lighting, they're gonna road test it, they're gonna do a full inspection, take all the panels off, and on top of that, you're gonna get a write-out with a full estimate of everything that the car needs. And using that write-up and that estimate, you can go back to the seller and use it as negotiations. I used to do lots of pre-purchase inspections. PPIs is what we called them. And if a car needs $4,000 or $5,000 worth of work, you have the proof, the seller and the buyer is there. You can then go to the seller who's asking $16,000 for the car, says it needs nothing. You say, well, according to this piece of paper, it needs $5,000 worth of work. And you can use that to negotiate the price down. I guarantee you, you'll be able to get a reduced price. I did one for my friend Josh and his son Peyton, the E90 that I showcased on the channel. We did the oil filter housing gasket together. They wanted, I think, $10,000, maybe $9,500 for the car, and they got it for $8,500 after I did a PPI on it, you know? Christopher knows, PPIs are an absolute must on any potential used car purchase, 100%. And Phil, big shout out to Phil, just became a channel member. Super appreciate it, dude. Thank you for your support. I gotta catch up on channel member comments when I get back in the house today. Man, there's so much to catch up on. Also, I gotta kick out of here soon. It's almost time for dinner. But before I do, we'll go over a couple minutes. We'll show you guys. I got new drain pan. What? Say what, Sage? Thing's pretty sick. It's got adjustable height too. That way it's a little bit better than having a pan on the ground. John says, welcome Phil to the Cool Kids Club. What we'll do is, let's shut this because I got to get this rod out of the way. Show you guys this thing in use. You guys probably saw the lift video already, but get this thing prepped up for tomorrow. Got my little button here. Oh, I gotta plug it in. I got the parts cleaner, thanks to John, plugged in. I need to turn this outlet into a double. Make a video on that. Oh, sick, dude. John's got the same drain pan. That's what's up. I like to purchase the cheapest car I can, then let it tell me what's wrong in the following weeks. You like to punish yourself. So many people on Facebook Marketplace like to lie for some reason. They either like to lie or they don't know. They simply don't know. Because in reality, you don't know what you don't know. This lift has been so nice, guys. It's been sweet. Yeah, I'm really excited with that drain pan, John, because can't have a drain pan on the floor and have a car 3.5 feet in the air. It's not gonna go well. Let me check the height. Also, you guys were commenting that if I get a different garage door motor, one that goes above the ceiling joist, that I'll be able to get more height. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start researching that. I don't know if I can get any more clicks out of it, but I'll show you guys my setup. How much would you charge someone for a PPI? If I was doing it for someone here locally, probably 200 bucks. But a shop will probably charge 150 to 300. Are you also able to tell if the car has been in a collision? I can, because I sort of have a trained eye for it. Also, you can just pay money for a Carfax and see if there's any reported collisions. I bought this creeper. It's pretty sick, because that goes like that, then this pin goes there. I gotta reassemble this, but I got my creeper seat. And now, when I'm doing oil pans and stuff, I can just be down here chilling like this. And it's gonna make life way easy. I have a back support. I'm down here with Sage. And yeah, we'll be down here, hit the trans pan, and transmission mounts. And we'll drop the exhaust, pull this shield, drop this sucker all the way down, and do trans pan, engine mounts, or I'm sorry, trans pan, trans mounts, drop the exhaust, drop the drive shaft, rebuild it, and then come back here and we'll dump the fluid on the differential, throw some fresh fluid in, and then we're gonna switch gears to interior, slap some tires on it, and then I gotta order front and rear bumpers. Before I go, can you guys give me any never pass up a free E46? Rob, what's up, dude? We were talking about you. I went through the box that you sent me and I showed everybody all the parts that you sent over. The center console, the kidney grills, the light switch. What else? Kidney grills, light switch, center console. We went through the whole box. I showed everybody all the goodies. And the rear ashtray, I guess it's kind of an ashtray, right? But Rob hooked it up. And then, oh, that's all good, dude. You can catch up on the VOD. I hope you enjoyed the posh dinner. But then John Lamson hooked me up with the ultrasonic parts cleaner. So we got this sucker set up today for tomorrow's video. Super useful. One, never pass up a free E46. And then before I go, I want to ask you guys, you Rob too, this is a good question for you. Since I'm replacing the bumpers on this thing and we're going to do paint, what bumpers do I need to order? You know, is there a specific style that I should order to update the front and rear bumpers? I'm not knowledgeable on that. I would just order whatever the car comes packaged with. But do I need to research Euro or M Sport or stuff like that? Because this is the current front bumper. And I need to start getting the parts coming, because I'll order whatever bumper you guys think I should, but I gotta order all these plastics. These are all beat and hammered and they're all unclipped. And so I have to have them all in the back of my truck for when I take it down. Coupes and sedans are different as well as pre-facelift, but M-Tech is a nice upgrade. Okay, cool. Well, this is definitely pre-facelift because we have the downturn corners. We'll get new headlight lenses too. So I think most people will love the M Sport. M-Tech, is M-Tech the same as the M Sport? I really don't know. I'm not knowledgeable when it comes to modifying BMWs. I'm only knowledgeable when it comes to doing OE repairs, right? I have a full factory aero kit. Oh, that's cool. Yes, Furious Walls, I agree with you. Problem with Carfax is it only shows reported accidents, and a lot of time accidents aren't reported. You just got to keep an eye out, right? Do things look the same? Is there scratch marks on the bottom of the unibody? Is one tie rod replaced and the other one isn't? Does one wheel look newer than the others? What's the date code on the tires, you know? It's all those little things. All right, I'm gonna do some research on M-Tech bumpers then, if you guys think that's the right move. And I'm gonna need to get all these plastics for it too, so I won't be able to order the plastics based off the VIN on FC Puro, so maybe I'll find some on eBay, but FC Puro doesn't sell bumpers, so I'm gonna have to order these online. I'm probably just gonna try to get eBay. Probably say stick with, what's PFL? Factory PFL. Pre-facelift. Honestly, that might be a good idea. A bunch of people were telling me hey, you should put M-Tech bumpers on it and stuff, but if we're keeping it original, yeah, pre-facelift. If we're keeping it original, it would make it a lot easier to source genuine BMW plastics from FC Puro, and it would save me some money. Because if it's not going to be able to be sourced on FC Puro, I'll have to buy it with my own money. But we're going to do xenon headlight lenses on here too. And I was thinking about sanding them. Then we got to install the black kidney grills from Rob. That's going to be sick. Chris, it's been great talking with you, dude. Thanks for being a member. Super appreciate it. Also, thanks for chiming in with all the help and support with answering other people's questions. Can quality aftermarket be as good as quality as OEM? I bought aftermarket bumpers for Eric's car and there was a little bit of fitment issues. So you could paint the grill inserts on the front bumper to make it look like a 330 Ci. That's a good idea too. Maybe get rid of some of this stuff, you mean? Like these little lower ones? I'll just start doing some more research on it. I'll do it after I film tomorrow's video. 325 was body colored. Man, you are such a wealth of knowledge, Rob. You're such a wealth of knowledge on these cars, dude. You make me feel like a fool in a good way, because you always teach me. But that's gonna wrap it up for today. I'd love to stay longer to catch Rob up to speed on everything we talked about, but I gotta go get some dinner going. 6:15. Dude, CD, he knows so much stuff. And if you haven't seen his channel, everybody go check out Rob's Weekend Garage. Another big shout out to Larry for the huge donations today. Shout out to Larry for all the huge donations. Shout out to John Lamson for the ultrasonic parts cleaner. Shout out to Andy Crozier for the window switches and the Alcantara shift boot. Shout out to Gerardo and the Perez family for the car. He is definitely your tism, Rob. It's definitely your tism. Appreciate you guys. It's been super fun jumping on live. I was just gonna tidy up the garage and listen to some tunes, and I'm glad I jumped on live because we were able to get the parts cleaner set up and hang out with you guys. It's been a real one. So let's see, what is it, Tuesday? I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Keep an eye out for a new video coming out on Sunday. F15 air compressor air suspension diag and repair. And I got an ASMR diesel truck video coming out after that. And then I think probably in 2 or 3 weeks, we'll release the video on this one. Trans service, drive shaft rebuild, differential service. Have a good night, guys. Love y'all. Thanks for the support. See you on my next day off.